Hey, 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 hey. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Thursday. Happy Friday's Eve to everyone. Hope you're having a good day. Started out pretty well. Kind of slow, kind of sluggish, but hey, I'm alive. I'm here. Deal with it. Hey, listen to Smash Bros Radio, the only digital award-winning radio station located where? Only one place, Birmingham, Alabama, Jefferson County. Find us on TikTok. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Facebook as well as YouTube. Please, please, please like, follow, share, and follow, as well as download our app. Find it on Android as well as iPhones. Appreciate you. Hey, I'm Oz. You can find me. Oh goodness, you can find me everywhere. You can find me on TikTok. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on YouTube. You can find me on Facebook as well as Twitter. So please, if you don't mind, like, follow, share. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. I didn't know that I had started so much. I don't I don't know if you call it controversy or whatever, but anyway, it is what it is. If you're not from here, there is a private. Used to be, I think it was affiliated with the United Methodist Church, Birmingham Southern College. It's an old college. It's been around for 165 years, and because of negligence, uh, because of financial irresponsibility, is having to close. And there's a lot of controversy about that. Uh, and the legislature and the governor and the mayor of Birmingham and the county, where the Jefferson County commissioners have gotten involved in trying to save this old ass white school. And then you have Miles College, which is an HBCU, a historical HBCU, which is HBCU, uh, who main campus is located in Fairfield, which is a struggling city. So, but it Miles is limited, extremely limited in being able to expand to grow because it is in the middle of a wonderful neighborhood. And so you have houses surrounding the campus. So there is no avenue, there is no way of expanding the facilities of uh, of Miles College. So I think in the 70s, Miles was going to had offered to buy the campus. So that's where we are now. But before we get into that, let me tell you, March 30th, which is this Saturday, March the 30th, from 1 to 4 p.m. Uh, a good friend of mine, Curtis Knight, has written a book, Raising Naz. And there is going to be a meet and greet book signing with speakers, food, prizes. And we are going to celebrate the new book, Raising Naz. And so please come out. It's free. Come out, meet Naz, and also meet the author, as well as get your own copy signed. That's March the 30th from 1 to 4 p.m., 105 Vulcan Road, 105 Vulcan Road, 35209, 35209. So please come out and meet Naz. Naz is a fantastic kid. He has an abundance of energy. He has an abundance of joy. He has an overload of love for everyone, and he's just fun to be around. For those who have been blessed to have children, you will understand uh, having being surrounded by kids. When I started working in '88, my classroom was on the third floor, and we were we were a elementary school, no, K through 8 school. We were K through 8, and so I would always get there early and raise the windows, and my room overlooked Tuxedo Junction. And so the most angelic sounds there are is laughter. the positive energy that is produced, that is provoked by these youngins, these beautiful angels, these young, just energetic, overloaded with so much energy. So you have to come out and meet Naz, and you come out and understand the inspiration, the motivation that he has given to Curtis. And so come out, come out, come out, come out, come out, come out and meet in Greek book signing. Also, Oz is a proud sponsor of the Southern Bully Showdown Part 2. So 1888 Bully Kennel presents the Southern Bully Showdown Part 2, November 9th at the Bessemer Civic Center at 1130 9th Avenue Southwest, Bessemer. There are going to be 4 ICBR shows. So please come out and support. If there's still spaces available. So please come out and support. If you are a vendor, if you are a kennel, if you are a breeder, if you are a spectator, if you wish to compete, please get in touch with Dewan at 205-460-6435, 205-460-6435, and find out. Vendors, food trucks, get in touch with them. Looking for sponsors, looking for donations. This is part 2. Last year was a success. This year is going to be a success, and we are claiming success for the years to come. This is a way for the community to get out and to learn exactly what the bully breed is all about. This is a way of getting information out to the community that sometimes the false narrative is not really the true narrative. So when there are a lot of false narratives out there when it comes to the bully breed, when it comes to especially the pit bulls. Anyone who is a dog owner knows. And I can't say that it's common sense, because I don't think that common sense is as rampant as it used to be. But it's dogs' attitudes and personalities, they're already set, but also the owners helps a lot with the dogs too. So you have to keep that in mind. So the Southern Bully Showdown Part 2, November 9th, Bessemer Civic Center, 1130 9th Avenue Southwest, Bessemer. Get in touch with Dewan Hall at 205-460-6435 for more information. So please, we would appreciate it for you to show up and enjoy yourself. Also, you at one time you could bring your dogs. If you please make sure that your dogs are on leashes, and that that they're not aggressive and they're not in heat. So please do that. Then we have a wonderful event coming up on May 4th. It's Cake It with Pauline, Mommy and Me Brunch. Join Pauline for magical cake decorating and floral class. It's at noon. It's at Canvas on Morris. Experience the ultimate Mother's Day treat brought to you by the dynamic duo of Pauline's and Christopher Laurel. Don't miss out on this unforgettable event. Reserve your spot now and create special memories with your loved ones. Get in touch. What is it? You can get your tickets. Put my eyes on. You can get your tickets, paulinehomemade.net for tickets. paulinehomemade.net for tickets. So please come out and create these memories for your children. Create these memories. Mommy and Me Brunch. I'm taking it for granted that it's not only for daughters, it also can be for sons, because it's Mommy and Me. And so please come out and create those fantastic memories with your children, so they will have something to look back on and know that all this fun that y'all produce for them. So come out, reserve your spot now, and create special memories with your loved ones. So hope to see you. So now, oh boy. It's a shame that you have a culture, you have a group who they would like to support other cultures, other groups, but they don't want to support their own. They have so much abundance of energy and support and fire and, just motivation and determination for other cultures. But when it comes to their culture, there are always these naysayers. And to understand that, I'm trying to get out of the habit of using race, black race, white race. There is only one race, and that's the human race. There's only one race, and that's the human race. And I think that's where everybody gets messed up, because once we say that this is the black race, that we start saying that there aren't any similarities in the human race, because there's only one race, and that's the human race. And in underneath that auspices and underneath that umbrella, you have different cultures that comprise the human race. So I'm trying to get out of the habit of using the white. So I just say race. And so, and plus two, hopefully it will embed, hopefully it will impregnate people to start thinking that there's only one race, and that's the human race. And because of being humans, we all have similarities. The only thing that separates us is our traditions and our cultures. And then when it comes to the black and when it comes to the white cultures, there are going to be some similarities because we've been together for so long. A good example is soul food and country food is one and the same. I was raised by an authentic uh, grandparents, great grandparents, great aunts, and uncles. So, soul food and country food is one and the same. So, you have this issue, and it's not really an issue, but you have this thing with Birmingham Southern College uh, closing. And they should have closed a long time ago because you have the low enrollment, as well as coupled with being irresponsible in some areas. And so, because of being irresponsible, uh, it's especially after 165 years, it is a shame and it is a tragedy. I will admit that, and that is all. That's at this point that would be the only thing that I will agree or claim or whatever. Uh, but it should not surprise me though that uh, a lot of naysayers all of a sudden popped up. I think that Miles should be have the priority of whether or not they wish to purchase the campus of Birmingham Southern College. It's a large campus. It's a beautiful campus. It is in a fantastic location because you have the interstate. It's accessible, and pretty much is in a part of Birmingham that needs growth, that needs revitalization. And Miles is the institution that will provide the power, that will provide the energy and the fire to re-energize that area. And I have all the faith in the board of trustees. I have the faith in the president. And at this point, I am embarrassed because I have forgotten who the president is, and that is just unacceptable. But see, let me tell you, who is the president of Miles College?
In 2019, Knight was elected as the 15th president and first woman to serve at the helm of Miles College. This answer is from BirminghamTimes.com.
Knight. What is the full name of the president of Miles College?
Okay, I found this on the web.
Bobby Knight
is the full name of the president of Miles College. Check it out.
Bobby Knight is an American. Where are we? Bobby Knight. Oh, where are we? Dr. Bobby Knight is an American business person, academic administrator, and college president. She is the 15th president of Miles College, a HBCU in Fairfield, Alabama. Dr. Knight, who had been a trustee of Miles since July of 2017, was appointed interim president of the school in August 2019 following the resignation of Dr. George French Jr., and she was selected as a permanent president 6 months later. She has a degree from University of Alabama um, School of Law, Northwestern University. So you have, I mean, the first, I mean, plus, you know, and I don't mean to be prejudiced. I really don't. Uh, but I've worked under extremely educated, extremely responsible, extremely well. What's the word? All these words escape me at this time. They were successful because of their sagaciousness. They knew exactly, they knew the assignment, they knew exactly what was expected, and they went beyond that. And so, with Dr. Knight being there, and then being the trustees are going to do what is best for the college. Dr. Knight, having been on the trustees, is going to do what is best for the college. They're not going to step out there foolishly and uh, take over something that they know that they can't handle. They're not going to do that. So, you know, people were saying that, well, Miles should stay where it is. And so, you know, they can tear down those homes and they can. Have you really thought about what the hell you talked? You're going to tear down the homes. Now you're concerned about the finances. Can they handle the extra, you know, the extra acreage? Can they handle the extra facilities? You have suggested that if since Miles can't expand readily, expeditiously, that you're going to tear down homes that have been there since Miles has been there. And then, so since you're worried about the finances, since you're worried about the responsibility, have you taken in consideration, first of all, the money, the revenue, the finances, the power, the energy that is going to take to tear down those homes, secure the land, prep the land? Then you're going to have to build the facilities. Have you taken in consideration the finances, the revenue that has to be generated, that has to be done? Whereas you have Birmingham Southern, who is already established, who has those facilities already there. The only thing is, I'm taking it for granted, and I'm taking it on speculation that since the enrollment has gone down, that means that that there's not that much money, and since the money that was in the endowments has been used foolishly, uh, some of the facilities need to be brought up to standards, and that can be done because, again, Dr. Knight having been a trustee, and then the trustees, those individuals who are trustees, they are not going to take over any responsibilities unless they can. So let's just go ahead and delete, erase, move on from, you know, tearing down the homes around Miles, because that's stupid. You have an athletic department, and I want to say that Coach Kerry Sanders is the coach over there, but I can't remember. But you have an athletic department that is growing, that is becoming more, um, what's the word? Successful. So they're going to need a larger facility. They're going to need a larger place to which to practice. And then when you have a successful athletic department, that means that you're going to have more sports, and you're going to have more events, and you're going to have more occasions and stuff. So you have Birmingham Southern, who already has those facilities. So you won't have to worry. Of course, there will have to be some buildings, of course, some building. I think, I think Miles plays Tuskegee. I think, I'm not for sure, but I'm just taking it for granted that since Miles is a white school, that they already have a stadium. It's just me. I'm not trying to be prejudiced or anything, but I'm just taking it for. So you already have everything Miles requires to grow, to expand, to be Miles. You already have it. You already have the facilities. Now, another thing, people are asking me, what about how do they have the money to do that? Listen, listen, listen. Reminds me of that little that video with that little boy. Listen, listen, Lisa, Lisa, listen, Lisa. You had the Jefferson County commissioners, you had the governor, you had the legislators, and some minority legislators at that. And then you had the mayor of Birmingham, who was coming up with solutions, who was coming up with recommendations on how to save Birmingham Southern. Well, that same energy, those same suggestions, those same recommendations, those same similarities that you did for Birmingham Southern, you can do for Miles. And then let me back up a little bit. There were some alumni saying that, well, we can. What about the old campus, babies? We're not saying that Miles should sell its location, sell the old location, the campus. Miles is to keep that campus. It's not to sell it. I mean, why would you sell it? It has a historical significance, not only for the neighborhood, but also for Fairfield. It has a significance. And I think that, it should have some type of historical marker for there to be recognized even more so. So, and then you have the black legislators. And again, I wish I could say I don't mean any disrespect, but I kind of do. The lady, the female legislator that has those big ass eyeglasses, please, she's got to have some friend somewhere to let her know that, no, baby, you don't, no. You look like a bug with big ass eyes. So you need to do away. But I digress. So you have opinions about, well, if Birmingham Southern was to close, that it would cause an emptiness. It was called a blight in the neighborhood. As I have stated numerous times before, there's already a blight in the neighborhood. There's already an emptiness in the neighborhood because Birmingham Southern has a history of flying under the radar. So that way no spotlight would be placed upon it. Birmingham Southern has never, ever given anything back to Birmingham, has never, ever given anything back to the community, nor the neighborhood. It has always kept its white ass behind those gates, behind those fences. So don't talk about the blight. Don't talk about the emptiness. Now, if you are so concerned about the emptiness, about the blight of the neighborhood, of the community, well, then that same energy that you put forth in trying to save Birmingham Southern, you should utilize that same energy to have Miles College to come over. Miles College is an old HBCU that has an abundance of young spirit, of young fire, of young energy. And you will be surprised the 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 the, the fulfilledness that that community will receive with Miles moving. And then on top of that, if by chance Miles does not have the capital to purchase the campus, well, Birmingham can buy the campus and they can lease the operation, they can lease that campus 2 miles for $1, $5, or whatever, because they're already doing it for other white organizations. Let me say that one more. Let me take a sip of my chocolate, hot chocolate. Let me take two. Let me slow down. Since there was so much concern about Birmingham Southern closing because of the blight, because the emptiness that will be imposed on the community and the neighborhood, uh, Birmingham Southern has a history of flying under the radar. They have never given anything back to Birmingham. They have never given anything back to the community nor to the neighborhood. And my interpretation, my opinion is that Birmingham Southern don't give a happy goddamn about Birmingham, nor does it care anything about the community nor the neighborhood that it is located in. Now, there is a story of one during the civil rights campaign, Reverend Shuttlesworth's campaign, that there was a white female student that participated in the sit-ins at one of the diners downtown, and they were not served, and then they was heckled and done badly. And so once Birmingham Southern found out that one of their female students, white female students, was a participant, they asked her to withdraw from the school. They did not give her any type of support. So for you to take the side, or for you to support a white private institution that has never given anything back positively to the community, to the city, to the neighborhood, that same energy that you have, that you had, you can use that same energy for Miles. There are ways, and let me shout out to the colleges and to the universities that have opened an avenue, that have opened a way for those students to receive their degrees. And see, that's what I was telling you yesterday. There are ways. It can be done. If you want it done, it can be done. It should be done. There should not be a question about, well, can they afford it? Or what about the manpower? You don't worry about that. You don't worry about that. You let those capable individuals worry about whatever. The only thing that you should want to support is the possibility of Miles going to where Birmingham Southern College is. That should be our only concern. The president, Dr. Knight, as well as the trustees, it's their responsibility to know if they are capable and functioning. I mean, Dr. Knight was on the board of trustees. Been there, done that. And again, every female principal, every female administrator, even at state, was capable to fulfill their responsibility, to fulfill their obligation. They were well capable, extremely experienced in making rational, positive decisions when it comes to growth, when it comes to expanding. I worked under Dr. Eunice Warren Moore, who was my mentor. Could not get any more sagacious than Dr. Moore. I worked with Mrs. Barbara McDonald. I worked with Mrs. Sylvia Pierce. Well, I worked indirectly with Mrs. Pierce because during that time we were going through the accreditation. I guess that's the proper term, to become a middle school to do a middle school concept. And so Lincoln Lincoln K through 8 and Mrs. Pierce, Sylvia Pierce's school. What was that school? Anyway, there was the two schools that were used to come up with the concept. I forgot about that. My first year of teaching, I was one of 8 teachers to write the concept, the middle school concept for Birmingham City. So, okay, so I worked with Dr. Eunice Warren Moore, Mrs. Barbara McDonald, and then I went to Huffman High School and worked under Dr. Randy Glaze, who had Julian Ross as an assistant principal. Then I worked under Mrs. Jimerson, who also had a female Martha. Okay, I can't think of the, but anyway, so I worked with Mrs. Dr. Eunice Warren Moore, Mrs. Barbara McDonald, Mrs. Sylvia Pierce indirectly, Dr. Glaze, Julian Ross, Mrs. Knight, and then what is it after that? I think we got that son of a bitch, Mr. Key. Mr. Key was the worst principal I've ever worked for. He was indecisive. He was just poor. He terrible administrator. And then what is it? Then there was that Rambo. What was his name? Beasley. Beasley was a racist. And and anyone who knows me knows that I don't use that term loosely. Beasley was a racist. He was getting his doctorate degree, and so he thought that he was going to use his teachers to help him. I didn't help him do shit. So okay, I've had, what is it? I've had Dr. Knight. I had Dr. Glaze, Mr. Key, Dr. Beasley, Dr. Goldsmith was a fantastic principal, male principal. And then I had Mrs. Ethel Knight. So, okay, so I had Dr. Eunice Warren Moore, Barbara McDonald, Sylvia Pierce, Gloria Jimerson, Ethel Knight. Fantastic female administrators. All they wanted you to do, they gave you what they wanted you to do. They told you what they wanted. They left you alone. If you did it, you did it. You don't, you don't. If you didn't do it, oh, you were going to call to the office. I enjoyed working under a female administrator. I was blessed in that these females administrators were extremely capable, very sagacious, very smart, very knowledgeable in how to work with all those personalities of their teachers, how to create an environment of learning. So I have no doubt that Dr. Knight has those same attributes, have those same characteristics of a strong administrator, not a female administrator, but a strong administrator. And it's, we have the tendency of thinking that because of a woman having the same similarities and the same attributes of a man, that they have those, but they are good at what they do. So Dr. Knight and the trustees are not going to do anything that they cannot sustain, they cannot handle. So the only thing that we need to be concerned with, the only thing that we should be willing to do is to make sure that we are supporting Miles to the best that we can. We leave all the logistics, we leave all the decisions making to Dr. Knight and to the Board of Trustees. But again, it can be done. It can be done. It can be done. I'm an example of that. I'm an example of how everything can be done when everybody's on the same page. And we have an example here in Alabama during the the Alabama State Supreme Court, when they ruled about that. I wish I would do that. The fertilization, people who can't have children, they passed that, and then all of a sudden the legislatures, because of a backlash, the white Anglo-Saxon Protestant men down in the legislatures came up with this bill to override what the Alabama State Supreme Court did. They did that expeditiously, so quickly, in less than a month. And so, see, that shows you that the state legislatures, as well as the federal, as well as the House, the Senate, and the Congress, they can pass bills readily, quickly, expeditiously, whenever they want to, when everyone's on the same page. It can be done. It can. Now, the example is, what is it? You had the example of this Alabama Supreme Court being overruled because the legislature is coming together as one body, coming up with a bill, giving examples and explanation of exactly what can and what cannot be done, and then the old granny signed it into law in less than a month. So it can be done. Don't tell me it can't be done, because it can be done. When I started the state in '88, I was in College of Education. I was a history major. Dr. Gordon Bliss took me under his wing and told me that it limits, history degree limits my teaching. So he created the social science curriculum for me. He presented it to Dr. Teague, who was a state department, or the state superintendent, Wayne Teague. Dr. Teague approved it, went through all the processes. It was approved. So I have a bachelor's of science in social science in secondary education. So it can be done. It can be done. So that same energy, the same motivation, the same determination, the fire that everybody had to save Birmingham Southern should be utilized for Miles. Miles needs the campus. It needs to expand. That community, that neighborhood needs the energy, needs the fire, needs that positivity that Miles will bring. And it's coming. It is coming. And again, let us not forget those colleges that have stepped up and have opened a door for the students to gain their diplomas. See, that's what happens when the community comes together. And again, there are white organizations in which Birmingham is leasing buildings for $1 to keep the organization here. So if you're leasing already buildings to keep entities, to keep organizations here, you can do the same. And plus, two, with you opening that access to Miles to purchase Birmingham Southern, do you not understand the events that can be produced, that can be brought to Birmingham Southern? Do you understand the number of youth leagues, of youth organizations that will put on events over at Birmingham Southern? It can be done. And plus, two, Birmingham Southern is an elitist white college, private college, and doesn't have any black non-Greek organizations. That in itself, does it have any non-Greek organizations? And please do not allow me to get on through these Greek organizations, because it is a shame that the alumni are not giving Miles the support financially or any other way after you graduate. Because Greeks, you nine, the divine nine, the same energy you give to your fraternity, your sorority, those letters, that same energy, because see, you would not be a Greek if it had not been for Miles. That same energy, support, financial, and everything else that you give to your organization, you should be giving back to Miles, because you would not be an Alpha Phi Alpha. You would not be an AKA. You would not be a Sigma Gamma Rho, Delta Sigma Theta, Zeta Phi Beta, Phi Beta Sigma, Kappa Alpha Psi. Am I missing? Oh, Iota. Let's see. Alpha Phi Alpha, Alpha Kappa Alpha, Phi Beta Sigma, Zeta Phi Beta, Sigma Gamma Rho, Kappa Alpha Psi, Delta Sigma Theta, Omega Psi Phi, and then Iota. So the Divine Nine, get up off of your asses, give back to your school, because again, as I have stated aggressively, you wouldn't be a damn Greek if it hadn't been for Miles. And see, in a larger sense, in a bigger picture, if the Greeks, especially the Black Greeks, if they would come together as a voting power, a voting powerhouse, do you not understand the changes that can occur? Do you not understand the power that those Black Greeks have? Those Black and non-Black Greeks. The powerhouse that you have. If you would use that same energy that you did when you voted for the vice president to get in, and if you use that across the board and start here at your state, start at your state. Don't worry about Washington right now. Start at your state. Vote for those individuals here at your state level, here at your city level, here at your county level, here at your doorstep, your mayor, your councilman. Because it can be done. It can be done. It should be done. So what's the problem? But alumni of Miles, you make my ass hurt. You make my ass hurt. I'm just going to put it out there. You tear down the homes. How are you going to tear down the homes? Those homes have probably been owned by the same family for same generations of families. You're going to tear down the homes, then you have to prep the ground, then you're going to have to build. Please, do you understand it takes more money to do that than to move over to Birmingham Southern, utilize their facilities, improve those facilities? Because see, now this, again, as I stated yesterday, this is the time now that the administration, the board of trustees from both colleges should meet. They should be discussing. They should be doing the inventory of exactly what facilities and whatever is over there at Birmingham Southern. There should be an inventory. There should be a discussion going on. So while the administration is discussing exactly what's what, so that way there's a smooth transition. Then while they're meeting, then you have the department heads meeting. Then you have everybody from financial aid to the registrar. You have all those departments meeting. And then you have those individuals who are the staff, who work for the cafeteria, who work for the grounds, you have those supervisors meeting, coming together. And you're getting a blueprint of exactly, well, this is how the facility looks now. And you get their expertise. You get their experience of exactly this and this. So there's a smooth transition. It can be done. It can be done. It can. There isn't any reason for it not to occur. Now you have to understand, again, for those who are not from Birmingham, where Birmingham Southern is located, at one time it was a white neighborhood. You had an elementary school, which was Graymont. The whites went to Graymont, the blacks went to Hill, and there's 8th Avenue. And I take it for granted that 8th Avenue was the street or the avenue that divided the black neighborhoods from the white neighborhoods. So during that time of interception, when it was 1860s, 160s, that was a white neighborhood. And then because of whatever, the whites started moving out, what I call white flight, and then they started moving out, and the blacks started moving in. So the environment changed per se. It became a black neighborhood, a black community. And Birmingham Southern was stuck in the middle. But it can be done. There should not be any questions or any fears because, again, the responsibility is in the hands of Dr. Knight and the trustees of Miles. And the same support that Birmingham wanted to give to Birmingham Southern, the same support that the legislators, especially the minority legislators, wanted to give to Birmingham Southern County Commission, you can do the same support for Miles. You can do the same support. There is so much stuff that you can do with that property under the leadership of Miles, under the leadership of Dr. Knight, that eventually, I give it 5 years. 5 years under the direction of Dr. Knight and the trustees. In 5 years, Miles will have total accessibility, total financial security of that campus. It can be done. I have no fear. It can be done. So again, alumni of Miles College, the only thing that you need to be doing now is supporting Dr. Knight, supporting the trustees, supporting your school, supporting the school that allowed you to be a Greek, non-Greek, and let all the logistics rest in the hands of capable individuals who know what they're doing. That's all that you need to be worried about. Because once Miles is allowed to move over to the campus, that neighborhood, that community is going to start thriving because you have a lot of organizations. You have youth leagues, you have youth organizations, you have all these organizations who are ready and willing to come over. And then Birmingham can use grants, could give grants to these organizations, to the youth leagues, so that way they're functional. Make it an annual event that that during this time, and just like when it comes to Miles and Tuskegee playing, it opens everything up. Now, the campus over at Miles, over in Fairfield, it's going to be there and it's going to be functional and it's going to be utilized. It's not going to go to waste. Why would you waste it? If anything, the athletic department can take over the old campus, can expand the stadium. Since you want to, expand the stadium, but it will be utilized. It won't go to dust. That's foolishness. You don't, where you start from, your homestead, you take care of. Your origin, you take care. Your homestead, you take care of it. It can be done. So y'all don't worry about nothing about, well, can they handle, what about the extra power? What about the extra manpower? What about the money? That's none of your business. It's none of your business. Dr. Knight's got it. The Board of Trustees got it. They know what they're doing. We need to support Miles. And from what I understand, there's supposed to be a meeting over at Parker Monday. I think it's an open meeting talking about Birmingham. We should not be talking about Birmingham Southern. We should not be talking about Birmingham Southern. We should not be talking about Birmingham Southern. It's time for the elitist, racist college to go away. It's time. What are you going to talk about? You never cared about the neighborhood. You never cared about Parker. And 9 times out of 10, I would wager that there were very few students from Parker that went to Birmingham Southern. So dismiss me. Sit your ass down somewhere. I mean, please. We should be supporting Miles in moving, in expanding. It can offer so much to the community, and the accessibility. You're right there at the interstate. You're not far from Walker County, Jasper. You're in an ideal location. You're close to Mississippi. You'd be surprised at the explosion that Miles will bring to the community, to the neighborhood. You're right there close to Mississippi. Accessibility. You're right there at the interstate 2059. It can be done. It should be done. So let me conclude. Take a deep breath. Let me slow down. Because of the location of where Miles is located, it is in the middle of a neighborhood in Fairfield. It cannot expand because of the athletic department becoming more successful, becoming more actively, more energized. For an example, not only for the athletic department, but we're just going to use the athletic department as an example. The athletic department needs larger facilities, needs a bigger facility to generate, to improve on its facilities. You have a president who is fully capable and experienced, as well as the trustees, to make sound decisions when it comes to the growth and the prosperity of Miles. You have a campus that is open, that is needing love, that is needing attention. You have a community, you have a neighborhood that is requiring the same need, the same attention, the same love. The facilities are already there. If anything, there may be some improvements that would be required, but you already have the facilities there. You already have everything readily available. Now, for those individuals who vigorously supported keeping Birmingham Southern open, that same energy should be put towards Miles now. The enrollment has dropped over at Birmingham Southern. It is financial and straight because of irresponsibility. Miles community, the neighborhood needs to come together as partners. They need a vested interest. Miles will give the community as well as the neighborhood a vested interest in improving the living standards of that community, of that neighborhood. Miles is capable. The city of Birmingham could buy the campus of Birmingham Southern, can lease the campus to Miles for $1, $5, $10 for 50 years. It's already being done. The city of Birmingham is already leasing buildings to white establishment, to white organizations for $1 to keep them here. You can use the same thing that you did for them as for Miles. Once you have given Miles the accessibility, once you have given Miles the ownership, then Miles can do what Miles does. It can have youth organizations, youth leagues to come over to use this site to bring more students over, as well as you can use that lease to improve the students of Birmingham City. It can be done. If everyone is on the same page, it can be done. It should be done. There should not be any question. It should be happening now. They're going to close May 31st. There should already be a meeting going on between the city, between Dr. Knight and the Board of Trustees. Then they should meet with the president and the Board of Trustees of Birmingham Southern. It should be a smooth transition. Again, shout out to those colleges and universities that have opened the door to the students of Birmingham Southern. That I had no fear. I knew the colleges and universities were going to come together to make it accessible, to make it right for the students, because the students were not thought about, the staff was not thought about, the faculty was not thought about. And you have to think about those that were going to be impacted because of the closure. Seniors should be allowed to graduate. They should not have to pay any bills. They should be allowed to graduate. Juniors should have a similar, and it can be done. Now, the sophomore and freshmen, they're going to be all right. They don't have enough hours or anything that really is going to jeopardize anything per se. But the juniors and seniors, especially the seniors, should take priority on how are you going to rectify what you have done? How are you going to take the stress and the pressure off of those seniors? They have done what is respected and what was required of them. They have done the due diligence, and they should be taken care of at no cost to them. Juniors have more hours involved, and so if they wish to have a Birmingham Southern College diploma, and rightfully so, the faculty, I leave it to Dr. Knight and the Board of Trustees. The cafeteria, the staff folks, again, that's Dr. Knight and the Board of Trustees' responsibility. But it can be done. It should be done. There should be no question about whether or not Miles should move and to have a second campus. And again, alumni, we're not saying to close the old campus. That was never an option. That is never an option. That was never an option. That is not an option. The old campus will not be closed. The old campus will stay alive, will be utilized. There's no reason for it not to. There's nothing wrong with that campus. No, Miles would have two campuses. Hell, UAB has abundance of campuses, and UAB should not even become part of the equation. Let me put that. UAB should not even be a part of the equation. UAB needs to keep its ass downtown and expand and take over downtown. This is Miles. Miles should have Birmingham Southern Campus. Dr. Knight, Board of Trustees, they know what they're doing, and they're going to do what is best for Miles, what is best for the family of Miles. So it is what it is. What up? So I appreciate you. Like, follow, share, subscribe. Download our app, Smash Bros app. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. You can find Smash Bros on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. You can find me. Oh shoot, you can find me anywhere. Find me on Twitter. You can find me on TikTok. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on YouTube. Smash Bros Radio. We appreciate y'all. Have a fantastic Friday's Eve. Know your value. Know your worth. Know that you control everything about you. Pray for Miles. Pray for Birmingham Southern. We want the campus. We need the campus. We deserve the campus. So y'all take care of yourselves. I will see y'all tomorrow. I love y'all.